Hello everyone, welcome. I always feel like my ring light's just slightly too bright for this, and I'm a little too close. Okay. I don't like the camera to be like right up in my grill. So, we are finally in the season of Tayshia Adams, okay? And I'm so happy. Like, I know it's been a couple of weeks. I haven't done a live stream in a while. So today is the day we're going to be talking about Tayshia. I'm so excited. I think that so far, just a couple of things. One, 100% she is the best bachelorette they've ever cast so far. We all know I feel like they should have cast her from the beginning. However, they did not. I did not talk about the end of Claire's season. So quickly, I just want to say I am very surprised that they're still together. I was definitely proven wrong. I think the producers kind of made them both look like jerks, you know? But honestly, like I don't really think they are. Like I think that the Bachelor's like producers sometimes really make drama out of things that maybe the drama wasn't quite there. Not that they're lying, but they just want to make, you know, hey, what's up, Ed? They want to make the season good. So, that being said, I do have a couple of notes on this most recent episode of The Bachelorette. Now, when she got out of the limo, I just want to say, I mean, like, she stepped out and it was like this queen. She was like a queen. I was like, she is the queen of all bachelorettes, let me tell you. I used this for a thumbnail, so I'm going to put it back. It's the one that's wilting because all the petals keep falling off, and they kept falling off when I was putting it in the vase. But yeah, she's just doing a magnificent job. I don't even use that word. I think that she is handling the men really well. I don't think she adds to the drama. I don't think she takes away from the drama. I think she lets the guys kind of like show their true colors. And with that being said, we're going to talk about what I think the men's true colors are. Now, disclaimer, I do not know these men. I do not mean anything mean by like at all. I don't... shoot, where's it at? Oh, I thought I saved it to my iCloud notes, but maybe I didn't. Yeah, I don't have my notes. That sucks. Okay. Well, oh, that's the wrong, sorry. It's been a really crazy day. I had it on the wrong list. Here we go. Okay, so I don't know what I was saying before, but, the number one thing I want to say, other than I love Tayshia, is Brendan is my future husband, okay? Like, I'm fairly certain that he and Tayshia do not end up together. And I'm here to say, I'm here to proclaim it. Name it, claim it, proclaim it. Brendan is my man. He is so cute. He's totally my type. He's so sweet. He's got the best sense of humor. Like, I love him. I want to marry him. And Tayshia did say that he rambles a lot. I was kind of surprised by that. I mean, maybe it's like a nervousness thing because he really likes Tayshia. Like, I feel like Brendan, other than Ben, like Ben and Brendan really like Tayshia. I can tell that they're the ones that are the most serious feelings about her so far up to this point. And, yeah, so I don't know. I feel like she's not quite as into them, as they are to her. I think one thing was that Ben, if you guys watched at the cocktail party on the group date, he waited until the last person to go to try to talk to Tayshia, and then by the time he got to his turn, the night was over. So she was like disappointed that he did not come grab her and like try to like take that initiative. And like I understand his motive behind it. Like he wanted to be kind of like best for last, lasting impression, you know, the most recent thought in her mind, but it did not pan out like that. And I knew it wasn't going to. And like anyone in that situation that's watching knows it's not going to end well. So she was like disappointed in that. It was also another thing, like, because I always watch like half the episode and then I go back and watch the second half. So the first half, before the rose ceremony, when they did the greatest man or the strongest man award or whatever it was, where they had to compete, I thought it was so hilarious how Bennett could not do the math. Like, he literally got every single answer wrong in the math section and in the spelling. He couldn't spell limousine. And I just thought it was hilarious. He went to Harvard, and he's like always bragging about how he went to Harvard. And I honestly feel like the producers were like, hey, you should go on there and pretend like you get all the answers wrong. In fact, I do think he knew the answers. I think they just wanted to portray it and make it like kind of funny, you know, like something entertaining to watch. Because without that, I don't know that that portion would have been very entertaining. Then it moves on to like, they have to perform tasks for Tayshia. So like they can cook for her. I think they have to make breakfast for her or something, or brunch. And Bennett like made it super romantic, and it was so cute. And then he ends up winning the greatest man award, or strongest man, or manly man, whatever the heck it was called. And he gets like this plaque or whatever, this certificate, and he brought it to the cocktail party and continued to wear his robe that he had on in the group date for the breakfast in bed portion. And it was so funny. I thought it was hilarious. The guys were pissed. And then Tayshia literally walks in, sits down, and before she even like, she says, hey guys, sits down, and then she's like gonna address the group, and Bennett goes, can I steal you for 2 minutes? It'll be really quick. And she was put off by that. You could tell by her body language. I think in her situation, I probably would have been too, but I really like Bennett, so I don't know that it would have bothered me that much, but I definitely would have been like, yeah, hang on, just let me address the group. And then she does, and she then is like, Chasen ends up taking her, and I would have been like, well, Bennett kind of asked me first, so I'm gonna go with him. But I think she was so put off that she just like went with Chasen and liked that he was like a little bit more mannerly. And okay, so now that we're talking about Chasen, so Chasen goes off, and the rest of the guys start talking about how they don't like him, and I just think that he's cocky. And I would like to play a game where, if I had known about this before I started watching the episode, I would have played the game of take a shot every time Chasen says Tayshia's a smoke show. That is so stupid. Like, what does it even mean? I mean, that's just so dumb. She's a smoke show. You can't come up with anything better. Like, she's, I don't know, an amazing, smart, kind, beautiful, authentic woman. But then they're like, the guys were all accusing him of saying the same things about her as he did Claire. Personally, I think it's kind of dumb that they were bad about that. Obviously, they are going to say the same things. And like, how many of the other guys did that? I'm sure they all liked Claire. They all said that about Claire. The only one that was like truly like had feelings for her was Jason, which was sad because I did not want him to leave. He was so handsome. And when he would put his suit on, he gives Brendan a run for his money. He doesn't win, but it's a close second. If Brendan's not interested, I will 100% take Jason. So, and I bet Jason smells good. I bet Brendan does too, but I think Jason probably smells better. So I just think that Chasen is quite cocky. I think that he thinks he's got it in the bag. I think he thinks Tayshia's in love. And I just don't personally have very much respect for him. I mean, I don't like that there's just something about him that I'm not a fan of, and I don't necessarily think he's like a bad person at all, but I don't think he's like someone that I would be attracted to, even on a friendship level. Like, I would not want him in my life just because he just seems like he's like a little bit not always straightforward about how he actually feels. And he seems like he just wants to impress everyone, and that's just not for me. So that's really all I have to say about that group date. Then, well, actually no, because then Chasen and Ed get into an argument because Ed calls Chasen out for being exactly how I just said he is. So he calls him out for being a cocky jerk that is saying the same things about Claire, or Tayshia, as he did Claire. And I found like everything Ed said to be funny, but then at the rose ceremony, at the cocktail party before the rose ceremony, I thought it was funny how Chasen tried to like make amends with Ed, and they got in like this huge fight at the group date. Like, he Chasen was like standing over top of Ed, like towering over him, telling him like, you need to leave me alone, stay out of my business, like just getting like almost physical. And Ed was like really bothered by that, and he ended up telling Tayshia, which whatever. Then Tayshia says to Chasen, hey, like, I'm not comfortable with that, like that's not cool. And he says, I know, I'm sorry, I lost it, like I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have reacted like that. Then he pulls Ed aside and says, hey, you know, like I just want to clear the air. And Ed like won't have it. He's like not accepting the apology. He won't drop it. Continues to talk about it. And to me, I'm like, okay, like I get it. You called him out. You're bothered by him. You guys don't like each other. But focus on Tayshia. Like if I was a guy and I had an opportunity to be with her, I'd be like, I don't care. Go. Like, go be who you are. You know, we're cool, whatever. I'll tolerate you. We don't have to be friends, but I'll tolerate you just for the sake of Tayshia. Like, why can't they have, like, a mutual respect, even just for Tayshia? Like, they don't have to like each other, but, like, I don't know. I feel like Ed continuously stirs the pot and, like, won't, like, just let it go, you know? And I think that he should, because I guess, like, as much as Chasen's not my favorite, I also think that maybe he does deserve a second chance, especially, like, and I'm kind of glad that Tayshia gave that to him, because he did apologize and he did try to make it right. And I ended up finding that more attractive than what Ed did, which was to continue to, because to me, like, obviously, I don't think Tayshia saw that altercation or whatever, that conversation where they just won't stop talking about how much they don't like each other. And for me, I'm like, okay, so for both Chasen and Ed, if I was dating one of them and they get mad at me, are they going to handle the situation with me how they did with each other? So Chasen gets aggressive, Ed won't drop it. I don't want that. I'm sorry. That's not okay. That's borderline abusive. We're not going to manipulate one another like that. When we are in a disagreement or one of us is mad at the other, we're going to have a civilized conversation and solve the problem, rather than, you know, being aggressive and you know, not fixing it. Like, that's stupid. Just whatever. It's so dumb. So all the guys go home that we don't know anything about. They probably got to say one sentence, and that was when they got out of the limo for Claire. So I don't even know who the guys were that went home. Like, I'm trying to think if there was like a guy. Oh, the one that was in the straitjacket, Jay. He was kind of strange. So, but he seemed really nice. So it was sad to see him go, because he seemed like a nice guy. And I hope he finds somebody. But yeah, the straitjacket was a little weird. I never was able to get past that. Does anyone remember that, when he gets out of the limo for Claire and he has a straitjacket on and he wears the straitjacket the whole night? I'm like, do you not have a shirt on underneath that? Like, take that thing off. That's weird. Anyway, so now I'm going to be talking more about the second half of the episode, where it's the full Tayshia season now. We're full on. So I don't understand. Okay, so the one thing that like bothers me about these guys, so they do like the wrestling match. And of course they put Ed and Chasen together. Ed and Chasen were going to have to fight one another and wrestle. And Ed suddenly is like, oh, my shoulder injuries. Oh my God, I can't. And Chasen's just standing there like, okay, like whatever. And then Chris is like, does anyone else want to fight for Tayshia's heart? Does anyone want to fight Chasen? And then Noah jumps the fence. We get a lot of fence jumping on this franchise. So he jumps the fence and they start fighting. Like, after he takes his shirt off and they oil him up and whatever, all the sexual bullshit stuff that we don't for the sexual bullcrap that none of us need in our lives on this show. I'm just saying. So Noah and him fight, and they declare Chasen the champion of all of it, which I don't even understand how they do that, because don't you have to have whatever? It's not real. So Chasen wins this big huge belt, and then they go to the cocktail party, and Noah is there and gets to come. So Tayshia invites him to the cocktail party, even though he technically wasn't on the group date. And every guy on the group date's pissed. And I don't understand that, because just because he tried harder and impressed Tayshia more is when they get mad. But, like, it's okay for them to do it. Like, if they were on a group date and Chasen was invited and he jumps the fence and gets invited to the cocktail party, that's okay to Chasen. But, like, if another guy does it, oh, suddenly he's terrible. I'm just using Chasen as an example. Like, they're just kind of, like, hypocrites about that, you know? Like, pretty sure you're just jealous. So Noah comes to the group date, right? He comes to the cocktail party. And him and Tayshia are sitting there. They kiss. Then he's like, she says to him, I think you should shave your mustache. So he shaves, he lets her shave it. I was really impressed by that because, I don't know, men kind of have a hard time parting with that kind of stuff. Like, they don't like to change it, especially when it's something that they've been, like, that's been a part of them for so long. Like, I feel like people who have really long hair, like, have anxiety about cutting it, you know, because they're so used to their long hair and, like, it's who they are almost. It's, like, sort of, in a way, their identity, like. So he was like that with his mustache, which his mustache was so awful. I'm so glad she made him shave that. Normally, I'm not about that kind of stuff, but that was bad. That was just not even cute. Like, and then he's so handsome. Like, he's a really handsome guy. I figured he was, like, you can kind of tell, but, like, all you look at is the freaking mustache. You don't look at his eyes. You don't look at his smile. You don't look at his hair. Nothing. You look straight at the stash. And he was so cute. And so, because he jumped the fence for her and then let her shave his mustache, she gives him the group date rose. And the guys are pissed. They're pissed. Oh, they wanted to cry. They all wanted to cry. And that was the same cocktail party group date where Ben did not talk to Tayshia. He waited till the very end, and then she's like, okay, you know, like, she was ready to sit down and give out the group date rose. He's like, oh, Tayshia, I'd like to steal you real quick. And she's like, well, the night's over. I'm disappointed in you. So that would suck. Sorry, Ben. It didn't work out in your favor. However, I think Ben's still going to make it far. I don't think that's going to affect him at all. Also, I find Ed to be a jealous individual. I do not think that's attractive. He does not, like, okay, so I said in my notes, I get where he's coming from on a lot of things, but he needs to have more confidence and worry about himself. I feel like he's constantly just, like, worrying about what the other men are doing and, like, what they're saying and what their conversations are with Tayshia and thinking that their intentions aren't pure and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so those things might be true, but what are you doing? Who are you? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would think. Like, if I was Tayshia, I'd be like, what is your story? What do you have to offer me? Like, don't worry about what the other guys have to offer. I'm worried about you. Like, he needs to worry about himself. He's just always up in everyone's business. But he is funny. He does say stuff that's hilarious. And honestly, probably what everyone's really thinking, you know? So, and I do like that Noah made such an effort to, like, win Tayshia over. And it definitely worked. I thought it was totally hot. I feel like also when he went to shave his stash, I feel like Tayshia was just so nice about it. Like, she was like, basically she said, have you ever thought about shaving it? Like, and he knew that that was where it was going. So he basically finished her sentence. And I just thought that was nice how she did that. Like, she wasn't like, that is so ugly, get rid of that. She's like, you know, have you ever thought about that? Like, he read between the lines a little bit that she was not attracted to that, so. Excuse me. So, I do like that this season they are showing so much more romance. I feel like I don't have as much to talk about because there's not as much drama, at least in this episode. Like, I feel like there was drama, but it's not like, it was like petty drama. It wasn't the whole episode centered around that drama. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just like the guys picking fights with one another and stuff, and I don't want to say it's boring, but there's not as much material to, like, really get into, you know? Like, and plus, I didn't take notes on the whole episode, so I'm sure there's more things I could think of, but I am excited for Tuesday. I can't wait. I haven't watched the preview yet. What was it? What are they doing in the preview? Crap. What's the preview? I don't remember. I have a terrible memory. I don't think they've showed the one-on-one, and then I think they're going to have a second group date for the next episode, if I have to guess. So, we'll see what happens, but I'm loving Tayshia's season so far. I think she is an incredible woman. She's so beautiful. She's classy. She's funny. I love her laugh. She's the cutest laugh ever. I want to be her friend, and I'm excited to see who she ends up with or doesn't end up with, because regardless, even if it doesn't work out, I still think it's a great season, and I think that she will find someone because she's an amazing woman. Like, you can just tell. And it's funny because when she was on The Bachelor with Colton, I liked her, but, like, I didn't really connect to her in that way. I actually really liked Cassie, who Colton ended up with, but then now they're not together because, well, hi Haley, how's it going? I'm just about to talk about Colton because I ran out of stuff to talk about for Tayshia's season because there's, like, not as much drama, you know? But, yeah, so I really liked Cassie, but I kind of kept Tayshia in the back of my mind, though. Like, I always kept my eye on her, if you will, because I could tell that she would end up being the Bachelorette. Like, I knew they were going to pick her at some point. And I still don't understand, like, why they picked Claire. I feel like that was... I'm sure they're asking themselves the same question. But I do hope that it works out for her and Dale. I don't know. I just, like, hope that one of these guys that is on Tayshia's season, because there are, like, that's the other thing. These guys, I think the reason why there's not so much horrible drama is because the guys are really good guys. Like, even when they don't get along or they fight with one another, it's not that bad. Like, they still are good dudes, like, at the end of it. Like, everybody's gonna get into an argument with another guy. Like, it's just the way it is, you know. And there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of personalities and everything, so... but I just want one of these guys on there to, like, see my videos and be like, I'm gonna take her on a date. Preferably Brendan or Jason, but, like, I really like Zach. If Zach doesn't end up with Tayshia. Zach is my personal pick for Tayshia. I hope that those two end up together. I think that, I think Zach is going to win. Yeah, everybody is so funny. Like, Bennett's hilarious. Oh, that's another one I'd date. Bennett. Although that's my brother's name, so that would be kind of weird. And they both spell it the same way. A lot of Bennetts only spell their name with one T. Yeah, that would be an adjustment. I don't know how I would go about that. But Bennett is really funny, and he seems like he is, like, intellectual, which is kind of attractive. And he has the best smile of all the guys, I think. I love Bennett's smile. He's so funny. And he just seems like a lighthearted, goofy guy. And I love... Oh! There was one thing at the end of the episode that I wanted to talk about. One of the, well, first of all, at the end of last week's episode, they showed Brendan on these, like, little miniature horses, because on the group date, or on the one-on-one they went on, they rode horses around La Quinta, and that was, their date was so cute, and, like... Brendan's been married, and I don't know, he's just so funny and so cute, and those horses where they had to ride, like, the miniature horses, it was just so funny. Like, they were for, like, little kids, and, like, this tall grown dude was, like, on it, and so was Tayshia, and they were, like, trying to ride it, and it wasn't moving. It was just so funny. Yeah, because then he's, like, just thrust it, it's a natural motion. Yeah, that was hilarious. I almost peed my pants. But there was something funny they did at the end of, when they were making fun of Noah's mustache, Bennett and Ed. See, this is why I won't say I don't like Ed, because he's so funny. And, like, him and Bennett together, they could do, like, a podcast together. In fact, I hope they do. I hope they start their own podcast. So if you guys are watching, start your own podcast. It'll be a huge hit because they're so funny. And they keep it real, but they're not mean. Like, they don't... Like, okay, I think Ed might be, like, jealous and a little petty or insecure or whatever, but, like, he's not a mean person. So that's why it makes it funny, because he's, like, he's just, like, joking around, you know? Like, but he's not, like, evil. He's not like, oh, they're so horribly ugly, and he doesn't say mean things that are, like, awful. But when they were making fun of, when Bennett and Ed were making fun of Noah's stash, and they were like, he needs to shave that thing, and they were, like, going on and on. Their joke about that was so funny. And in fact, I mention this in every live video. I love to shout him out. Bachelor Fan Take. He kind of breaks down the episode and, like, says what he thinks really happened and what the true intent behind somebody on there, what their, sorry, my brother's playing video games, I think, what their intentions are. And he also breaks down the previews to, like, kind of predict what's going to happen in the next episode. And he also tries to predict who the winner is going to be based off all the previews, simply previews. And then I think he picks, like, his final 4 after the first couple of episodes. So I really like him. I try to link him in every single video, live stream that I do about The Bachelorette, because I just like his view on it, and I was hoping he would break down that part about, or just like at least mention the part where Bennett and Ed were making fun of Noah's stash, because it was hilarious. But yeah, that's about all I got. I don't think there's really anything else I could add at this point. I'm pretty much rambling, so thank you guys for watching. I upload every Monday and Thursday. Mondays at 5:30, Thursdays at 6. So stay tuned for that. We have a couple more videos before Vlogmas starts next Tuesday. And during Vlogmas, I haven't decided how the structure of live streams is going to work. I think I'm either going to upload twice, so I'm going to do my Vlogmas upload and my live stream upload, or I'm only going to do the live stream because I still want to continue to talk about it. And then once The Bachelorette is over, I'll figure something else out if I'm going to do something for a live stream. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you guys tomorrow at 5:30.